remove,
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 activated by a push button on its base. And if I remove my thumb, remove my thumb, remove my thumb...
No. Remove the bodies. Remove the bodies. Remove the bodies.
For destruction. He tried to remove the shoes, remove the shoes, remove the shoes. But only the strongest will can overcome their control.
In the midsection of the brainstem, it makes it very difficult to remove surgically.
It doesn't matter if it works. Right? All that matters is that we land the account, all right? And then I can remove acting from acting sales manager.
What if someone does something irksome and I decide to remove his spine?
That's...
Remove him.
Guards, remove this well-fed Judas to the Bargello.
This is outrageous. This Melanzana deceived us!
Of your body language. And you, for some reason, have recently used a solvent to remove fingernail polish from your hands.
Gonna fight for their own survival, Mr. Haynes. Remove their restraints, please. Remove their restraints, now!
Right there. So it's a through and through then? There's no bullet to remove?
That's right.
Remove the dagger. We can start over.
Colonel, if you remove me from office, if you seize control...
symbol,
symbol, symbol,
Symbol.
symbol.
I know. The symbol on the side of the ship. I've seen it somewhere before.
The guy in the mask was carrying something with this symbol on it, this symbol on it, this symbol on it.
Apprehending the man in the mask will improve Hero's emotional state.
A symbol to many of everything that's wrong in Washington.
Louisiana simply...
Every man carries a badge. Some symbol of his allegiance.
Go to the corner of Fong and Tull. Show them that card. Look for that symbol. And a word to the wise. Do not trust him.
A ritual. These symbols. What are they?
A child, which he took with him. That and this symbol appears in several of the crime scenes.
I mean, do I paint you from below? Or do I paint you from above?
And then there's symbols. I mean, do I paint you with a dog in your arms? It's a symbol of loyalty.
Questioned on my way home. So is this the symbol for me?
Athletic champion that you are, Sagittarius is a natural code name for you.
Tell us the identity behind each of these symbols, then.
I'm not privy to that knowledge. That's all kept in Captain Dragonetti's office.
I haven't moved since I left Vega. No words, no symbols, nothing.
Well, this is much more than a mere trinket. This is a symbol. Something that was once magical, full of hope, possibility.
Pledge, pledge, pledge,
pledge.
pledge.
Marriage is also a public pledge of love, public pledge of love, public pledge of love and devotion everlasting in the eyes of God.
Here. The goal is to make cellular deterioration impossible. That's our pledge, that all members will be preserved in stasis.
Girls, you want to be one of our sisters when you went to KKG.
Yeah, I'm not a pledge. I'm just a transfer.
Oh. Another pledge. When you pledge to KKG.
I pledge to you that if we are elected, you will have a friend and advocate in the White House.
Maybe we have McCain make a one-term pledge.
No, it won't. They're not complete. It's just a pledge and a term for each.
My people and I are here to help. To your investigation, I pledge Madrigal's full cooperation and transparency.
Liven up the place a bit. I'm hosting an event tonight. Pledge drive of sorts. Gotta make an impression, right?
Kneel before me. Lay your sword at my feet. Pledge me your service, and you'll rise again as Jon Stark, Lord of Winterfell.
Pledge parties and keggers, pretty girls constantly passing by.
I don't get it. Apparently, these days, kids pledge of allegiance to the Mafia Code of Omerta.
I've pledged to marry you, dear Cora, and I will keep that pledge as long as I know I can trust you.
And I pledge, Bellfire, I won't be that man.
Lecture. Lecture. Lecture.
Lecture.
Lecture.
Are you waiting for me to finish before giving me the lecture? Giving me the lecture? Giving me the lecture?
You haven't said much. Quietly working on your lecture? Lecture? Lecture?
No lecture.
You're just upset because we got a lecture for talking to Alta von C without him.
I saw a lecture on Frida Kahlo in 1977.
He's just messing with you, Agent Everett.
And deliberately disrupted my lecture for another thing.
You owe me 50 pounds.
Manchester, Leeds, Newcastle. I've been giving my lecture. Edinburgh, Fair City.
You're the third person this week to lecture me on fate.
You mean back off? Would you side with him on this?
He's a snitch, Charlie.
You left your right to lecture back at the port, Dale.
Can we maybe save the lecture until after breakfast, please?
To you.
They said you're not returning their calls.
Yeah, well, I don't need a lecture every time I speak to them, so I...
They're confused, Joan. You used to be a surgeon. Now you babysit drug addicts.
I just talked to Dr. Wells. He's attending a lecture downtown. Won't be back until 5.
All right, Cisco, you know when he gets here, you need to be working on the track.
I barely knew him.
You saved his life.
Only because I happened to be at the academy giving a lecture.
Comprehensive. Comprehensive.
Comprehensive. Comprehensive.
Comprehensive.
First order of business for this administration will be a comprehensive education reform bill to properly fix, finance, and strengthen our nation's schools.
How did you know about that?
Well, I did a comprehensive background check. Comprehensive background check. Comprehensive background check. You did medical records, credit reports, criminal history.
Last night, his patient logs were so detailed, so comprehensive, so comprehensive, so comprehensive. First, I suspected he must have copied the data directly from the charts.
We love it.
I think we've put together a pretty comprehensive plan that provides Kevin with every important adolescent experience.
Looks that way. Respectfully, I suggest that we bring everyone on the task force into a comprehensive review of the original files.
It would help us prove our case. We also want a comprehensive list of your companions both before and during Lestrade's tenure.
Certainly seems, I think comprehensive is the word you're looking for.
I was going to go with abusive.
If you mean to do this, we're going to need a much more comprehensive cooling system for the specimens.
And I have told them as much.
This is a comprehensive look at Dr. Scott's protocols, experiments, and trials.
Expectant date.
No, you're procrastinating.
Is there something so terrible about a comprehensive system?
Why don't you want to go look into one of the
I've
other...
been looking. I just don't like what I'm seeing.
Look, the patients who want to do it sign a comprehensive release. And the nice thing is, most of them want to do it. They're excited about being on the cutting edge.
Participation. You know, we're trying to gain a comprehensive understanding of the most complex object in the world, our brain.
Random. Random.
Random. Random.
Random.
Guilty. I'm angry. This wasn't some random break-in. Random break-in. Random break-in. Brawl symptoms.
It seems pretty random. Pretty random. Pretty random.
That's because it's very random.
Help me find that painting, or I'll have the magistrate open that file and prosecute at random. Prosecute at random. Prosecute at random.
Home to your family. Life can be very random sometimes.
the kind of girl I would date.
If she didn't, you know, happen to fuck random guys for money.
Yeah, that's really the only thing.
If things fair, I like to give my final spot away to some random temp. Let's see who the agency sent over.
Miss Blake, by authority of the council, we're here to perform a random inspection.
A heat run is when someone makes a series of random turns and speed changes in order to avoid a tail.
The group has continued their campaign of random violence.
How often do you think about why your friends came into your life? Was it random, by design, or maybe a little of both?
These are just a few of the random thoughts I've had on the subject.
Or Greg. So, whatever's kept random people from stumbling into Storybrooke for the last 28 years.
It's for the third bedroom.
No, there is no way I am leaving this up to random chance. It ought to be about who wants it most.
Medal.
Medal. Medal.
Medal. Medal.
This is it. Will Jimmy Washington win his 7th consecutive gold medal? Gold medal. Gold medal.
You finally got good.
What's my prize apart from the Olympic gold medal? Gold medal, gold medal, of course.
My cock could win a medal. It would. If they could name a school after it, it should.
You got another envelope?
Yeah, found this medal inside. It's called the Order of the Rising Sun.
Frank, I'm gonna recommend you for a meritorious service medal when all this is over.
I just want you to know I'll be recommending you for the Medal of Merit.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Go warm up the hot dogs. I've been working all day here.
What do you want, a medal? It's a job.
Congratulations.
Yeah, well, kill a kid, get a medal, right?
In yourself, man. I mean, if there was an Olympics for bad luck, you didn't just medal, pal. You Michael Phelps.
You think I'm bluffing?
Roebuck's a gold medal, and he always stays out of reach.
Constant. Constant. Constant.
Constant. Constant.
Work.
You were kidnapped for nearly 2 weeks and your first thought is to go back to work?
I just needed something constant in my life.
God knows what's going on inside your body. Your cells are in a constant state of flux. Constant state of flux. Constant state of flux.
Oh, no more of his permits, his endless forms, his constant meddling. We'll be free. The aging scar is under constant pressure from within.
Slowly 1 degree, correction 2 degrees. Spring scale pressure remains constant.
Yes, as soon as he picks up the bag, it's over, by which time you'll be gone and safe. And you'll be under constant supervision. My men will be watching you, but you won't see them.
Guys are really, really adorable with this constant irrelevant advice, but...
This goddamn medal is a constant reminder of what I did wrong.
This is why he is under constant threat of kidnapping.
Husband?
Well, the neighbors complained about constant fighting. We put out an APB on Benton the night that Melanie was murdered, but he got away and he's been on the lam ever since, so...
New part of Richard's life, the constant danger and the never knowing, but I really thought there would come a moment.
Tibetan pit viburnum. Constant dose of that can't be good for you, right?
Ah, so no more than constant fighting. How does that make you feel, Adrian?
Nurse.
Nurse. Nurse.
Nurse.
Nurse.
Which doctor was that? Seuss or Jay?
Nurse.
Dr. Harani wrote it in his chart.
All right, we'll get him in.
Or I'll go with the nurse. The nurse.
Damn, it's a man.
I'll get a nurse. Then I have to deal with a very sick man.
We're gonna keep you on some fluids for hydration and keep you monitored. If y'all need anything, please have a nurse page me.
A break? What kind of break?
Kind of break that pays our rent and keeps your pretty nurse around.
But to do so, he must first master the royal skills of manhood.
I learned a bit of kung fu from my wet nurse. She taught me this.
Hi,
I'm Gabrielle Solis. Your nurse, Heisel?
Yes. Ow! Oh! Ow! Nurse Heisel! Nurse! That's... Oh! Nurse Heisel. I can explain. Candy skank?
This is McNeil.
She called you. I did not give her your number.
She's a nurse. She worked the system.
Nurse.
Sheriff Swan, actually.
Nurse! Nurse! There was a patient here suffering from amnesia. Where is she?
I'm gonna blush and then he'll know. I can't be a nurse. I'm not patient. I hate bedpans with walking clogs. And let's face it, I'm too small.
Consult.
Consult. Consult. Consult. Consult.
Dr. John Frank. I was called in to consult. Consult.
Did he say that? Out loud?
He came to me knowing that I would consult with you.
Yes. I understand. That's a fascinating case. I'm needed for a consult. We're through here, right?
Dr. Bowen, it also says that you consult for Vickers Pharmaceuticals. I'm curious why we don't have a letter from them.
I asked him to consult because his father did so much work in the field.
Really? Yeah, so how do you explain this? Well, I'm always happy to consult.
Says the woman who consults a psychic. My point is, I'm your guy.
Oh, you are avoiding this.
No, I'd just be remiss if I didn't consult my books, you know?
Well, I wish you'd consulted me first. I'm pleased to see that your foray into another pseudo-profession like film consulting hasn't dulled your scientific acumen.
Not really consistent with a knife. They're pretty deep. I'll consult with Angela, but,
Numerous. Numerous.
Numerous.
Numerous.
Numerous.
You can best express yourself to the world. There are numerous procedures outlined here, but please don't feel limited to them.
You grew up in a political family.
Yes, sir.
Your father, Rain Price, was mayor during the 70s. He created numerous opportunities for the city's black population.
There were numerous instances of her saying things that were not accurate.
In the drawing room, and the hostess is serving tea. Now, numerous little questions confront us.
Show your badges, gentlemen. Dr. Cawley's been consulted numerous times by Scotland Yard, MI5, the OSS.
Why?
What do you mean?
Not that you care, because I don't really tell people that. Because people steal ideas all the time. It's happened to me numerous occasions. What?
Fake. I assure you it's not. The provenance of the journal is clear and under no doubt. And it's written in Andrea's own hand, of which we had numerous examples.
But my agents are numerous and splendidly organized.
Marcus Hemmings arrested numerous times near Mount Baker, Mount Rainier, Mount St. Helens, Mount Lassen.
Has served 10 years on the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, made numerous diplomatic missions to South America.
Behavior. Behavior.
Behavior. Behavior.
Behavior.
They want me to spend 8 years in this shithole.
8 years is really more like 4.5 with good behavior. Good behavior. Good behavior.
I heard you was in a slammer.
Out early.
Why's that?
Good behavior. Good behavior. Good behavior.
Supposed to be in school?
We got time off for good behavior. Behavior.
That would be a first.
Oh, I hope not too tiresome. But I wanted to say sorry for my behavior.
Idea for you to explain to people why your behavior was so dangerous. As a lesson.
Colonel Weaver is displaying somewhat erratic behavior.
I know.
And you're holding out your plates for more pork. You should be ashamed of yourselves. In my caucus, people are rewarded for good behavior, not trading their votes for ransom.
None. But that doesn't mean I don't take full responsibility for my staff's behavior. the buck stops with me.
And what did you find?
Incoherent?
No, sir.
Any odd behavior?
No, sir.
Not even firing his chief of staff in the midst of a trade war?
He didn't fire me. I resigned.
Well, any patient with a history of addictive behavior.
I know. It's fine.
Impose.
Impose.
Impose. Impose.
Impose.
Why? For his resume? To impress someone? To impress someone? To impress someone? For the sake of learning. His passion for knowledge.
You impress. You impress. You impress. He charms.
He didn't want to hurt me. He wanted to impress me. He wanted to impress me. He wanted to impress me. But he is fixated on you and not in a good way.
There's only one person you got to impress here today. Eddie Marshall.
And you're gonna do it. You do anything he tells you to do. I mean it. I don't want you getting in trouble in school, trying to impress me, taking this shit in there, all right?
You planned this.
More than mere bribes are needed to impress my father-in-law.
Impress me. What's that? Hemoglobin, courtesy of the Bureau.
Beg your pardon. All this sashaying about, trying to impress him, it won't work. This is my job.
I tried everything to impress them, but all they saw was him.
I'm impressed. You didn't puke. I swallowed it.
I'm really starting to wonder what it would take to impress you guys.
Is all of this supposed to impress me?
No.
On hand, I could do better than that.
Hey, you know what? Now's not the time to try to impress Ella.
Oh, you think that's what I'm doing?
Really?
Preclude.
Preclude. Preclude. Preclude.
Preclude.
Right there. You don't want to tell us anything that might preclude us from working on your case.
There must be some kind of a mistake. This man filed a motion yesterday. He has a medical condition which precludes transfer. Precludes transfer. Precludes transfer.
Well, no, the laws are designed to preclude any special circumstances, so it's really quite simple.
The single best weapon we've got.
I want to run a fucking campaign that my kids can be proud of, and that precludes attacking a black reverend.
Now, we have I Think I'm Jewish, which is a new one for the class, Oliver, so thanks for that. But it does not preclude you from giving us a morning prayer.
Legitimate businesses are worthless on paper.
And now that we're out of mediation, we'll be able to preclude mention of any assets that could lead to criminal exposure.
I hope that doesn't preclude me from running.
Actually, I'm not here to make judgment, just questions. If Drescher is behind Isabel's lies, then Mr. Sweeney will get a revote, and Drescher will be precluded from running.
I know. But now that we're part of this probe into your practices, we are precluded from representing you. We have a list of potential attorneys. I've called the top 3.
At one point, we hoped to see him in a cardinal's hat, but our current relations with the church have precluded that.
We have an ironclad relationship agreement, which precludes her from physical contact with anyone other than me.
Roxy never cared about money. I thought that you didn't speculate.
That doesn't preclude pursuing a logical line of inquiry.
So... it's hot.
Yeah, but you know, my profession doesn't really preclude me from my fascination with sci-fi and fantasy.
You're right. I'm sorry. There's just something about a pregnant woman that precludes twisted humor.
Selfish.
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 Selfish? Selfish? This from Helen Chin's personal racket swallower.
I'm sorry. I mean, about everything. I was stupid and selfish and selfish and selfish. A selfish asshole.
My mother said nothing. Not only told them the truth. Was that so selfish? Selfish. Selfish.
You shouldn't have quit. It was selfish.
You want to know why I quit? This was a little boring, don't you think?
You are so selfish. We looked everywhere for you. You could have told someone.
Shame on you keeping your unusual guest all to yourself. We think that's mighty selfish of you.
No, it...
Would you like to marry?
Don't be so selfish. I'm sleeping. It's bad.
I knew that you were selfish and immature, Evan, but I did not think that you would commit career suicide to impress me. It's... People who are selfish. I think they need someone who cares about the lives of other people.
We have to think about more than just ourselves.
So wanting to marry a man that I have feelings for is selfish.
Room 10 times. Pick up the phone, you selfish son of a bitch!
I spent years wondering how people could be so cruel, petty, so selfish.
Spectacle. Spectacle. Spectacle.
Spectacle.
Spectacle. In my opinion, it's not the sport itself. It's the spectacle. It's the spectacle. It's the spectacle. It's making a cruel spectacle out of...
What are you talking about?
Daughter. My children. Both of them. Everything is such a spectacle. A spectacle. A spectacle. Welcome to my home.
To be about the quarantine. Neither do I. That's just spectacle. That's just spectacle. That's just spectacle.
The quarantine is news. We have a unique opportunity.
Fine, we're done.
Watch any more of the sexist comment?
Oh, I honestly don't care. It's all spectacle. Who can get the most points, right?
But you're gonna have to promise me at least half a page. No, this thing's an event. It's gonna be a spectacle.
It's just like I thought. They're kids' spectacles, mid-1800s. The David Sheltons.
Show starts at 7.
There's a show.
A show, yes. More than just a show, the best spectacle in the world. You'll love it.
Wow.
Prepare to be amazed.
He can create a theatrical spectacle, fill the stands with happy citizens, and demonstrate what a harmonious city looks like.
Are you mad?
Drama, attention, spectacle.
Imagine the spectacle of her trial. Imagine the celebrity that'll be heaped upon her captor.
Markovia.
Send in the army.
We send in the army, we risk an international spectacle our government can't afford.
A spectacle for the locals. Until the mountain river lies through this one's heart.
Footprints. So why the hospital? Why this? Lone wolves crave spectacle.
Immigration.
Immigration. Immigration.
Immigration.
Immigration.
Every problem in this country is race-related, not just crime. It's like immigration, AIDS, welfare. Those are problems in the black community, the Hispanic community, the Asian community.
Immigration and customs enforcement. I'm a fed. You ever heard of the feds?
Spend too much time in one spot.
Now, I don't want to have to check into your immigration status. Immigration status. Immigration status. I just need to know.
Is legal immigration a crime, Marshal?
Oh, I don't know, Doctor. You tell us.
Technically speaking, I'm an alien. And from the perspective of immigration, an illegal one.
We will never make it through immigration at the airport. I'm serious.
Okay.
This is CBP. We caught a girl coming through immigration over at LAX.
Immigration, that's not my...
Sorry. Immigration and Customs Enforcement are stopping by later to take custody.
I don't care about your immigration status. We just need to know exactly what you saw just before that explosion. I spoke with immigration, and in exchange for Su Yin testifying against Mimi Tan, they are going to grant her asylum.
Okay, we got several good lifts off the device. We also got a hit in the immigration database. Their faces should be showing up on your screen in a second.
Saline and heat up some blankets, and someone alert ICE.
Wait, do we have to call immigration right away? She's been through enough.
Protocol.
Education.
Why?
Immigration is too controversial. Tax reform isn't sexy enough.
Nearby.
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 With no fish nearby, it's back to eating grass.
A root structure. All right, well, then there must be a water source nearby.
Yeah, it'd have to have a slow current, lots of rocks.
You know, I'm pretty sure that there is a river nearby.
I left a message. I was visiting a school nearby.
I never check my messages.
Marco Polo, you Tostel? It is nearby. Any taxi driver will know it.
Got a report that an IC1 was seen assembling a firearm in a nearby vehicle.
Being as how there weren't any doctor's offices nearby, he did the next best thing he could. He came here, okay? So this is where he...
Wells, your people directed us. There is WHO research facility nearby, but they're not sure it's still operational.
There is a pastry shop nearby. Delgados. They have the best pastries in Mexico.
Brain here. If there's a camera nearby, I recommend hiding.
Look there. Brother to Kyle. Now I'm gonna get you a place nearby.
He's not yours, Kev. He isn't even mine.
Notorious.
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 The most notorious hacker of them all was the one that got away. Back when Uncle Sam was trying to maintain its iron grip on the budding internet, or ARPANET as it was known then.
I'm notorious. 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 The white OJ.
Vampires are notorious for golf applause.
That's right. Young girls are notorious for keeping their fucking mouths shut.
Doesn't even know me.
Grimaud Tonneau. Born in French Africa, very little is known about this international man of mystery before becoming the world's most notorious arms dealer.
Her B sample had the same marker ratios as the Notorious 6.
Notorious 6?
Health department. Notorious feet draggers. Could take years.
Well, a murder solved and a notorious hoodlum off the streets for good. I call that a solid win.
According to Celebrity Examiner, Christina is notorious for seducing famous men with her extensive bikini collection.
I was pursuing a counterfeiter named Curtis Hagen. The notorious Dutchman.
Mitzi Roth, a notorious poacher in the world of high-end residential real estate.
I mean, I'm sure he's already wondering why it took the notorious Shadow Walker so long to find my little shell program.
Anybody.
Anybody. Anybody.
Anybody.
Anybody.
Never love anybody. I'll never love anybody again.
If you didn't love anybody, you'd never even be here.
People still phoning me. And I don't have a TV show. And I don't have anybody to listen to me.
That sounds like the perfect murder.
My dad wouldn't hurt a fly.
He was a marksman in the army.
But he never shot anybody.
Then why did your mother take out a restraining order against him?
Is anybody getting any bars?
No. Theoretically.
It's not theoretical, it's practical. Paris is boss.
Has anybody told him?
Probably not.
Is anybody you want me to call this?
No, don't have anybody.
I don't work for anybody.
Okay. This will mostly be about sex. And I need to know if that'll make anybody uncomfortable.
Where do you think we're at?
Down by 2 points.
I'm losing?
Yes. Can anybody get me Eli?
Companies merge, and then they destroy the competition. Bigger is better. She won't listen to anybody else.
Anybody out there? Mayday, mayday!
No. You are not writing him back.
And why?
Because we don't know who he is.
Well, yeah, that's the beauty of it, Reba. He could be anybody.
Yes, he could be anybody.
No, come on, a little healthy competition never hurt anybody, even in church.
Well, that's true. I mean, if anybody understands competition, it's God.
Opponent.
Opponent.
Opponent. Opponent. Opponent.
Are these kingdoms here? Tur and Turangard. The present king is our implacable opponent. Implacable opponent. Implacable opponent.
Senator John McCain has requested of his opponent, Senator Barack Obama, a postponement of the upcoming debate.
His humility could be false. Part of a strategy to avoid antagonizing an ego-driven opponent.
An opponent who can control the flow of the game while appearing to play defensively.
Perhaps she would agree to spar with you. Give me an idea of what you might be like with an opponent in your similar weight class.
He's a more complex opponent than I have faced in some time.
We're dealing with an exceptionally cunning opponent. He'd had to have this identity in place as a failsafe.
They say his kung fu is so strong he can tear an opponent in half without even touching him.
Wow! I guess. Although, he should be taller, I think, huh?
And his opponent, Polo the Champion!
Full acceleration. Fighters work at the same pace. You switch it up, throw your opponent off his game.
When your opponent is the mountain, you must be the sea. When he is the sea, you must be the mountain.
Poetic.
Switch your attacks. Never do the same move more than twice. Otherwise, your opponent will learn to read you.
So, Wells set up a fake showdown with a fake opponent who was never really there.
Adult.
Adult.
Adult. Adult.
Adult.
You can handle going back to high school.
It's a dark place, guys.
I'm sure it wasn't that bad. Besides, you're an adult now. Besides, you're an adult now. Besides, you're an adult now.
Adults.
I'm good as friends.
Oh, good. Adult friends. Adult friends. Adult friends.
PV's the reason you're going to live long enough to find yourself browsing the aisles for adult diapers. For adult diapers. For adult diapers. And you'll thank us for it. Okay.
Okay, this guy, he owns half the adult bookstores on the West Coast.
No hope of solving the intricate problems they come up against as adult human beings.
In fact, 40% of adult Americans cannot read above a 4th grade level. Well, Jimmy's only 11. He needs an adult looking after him. They both do.
They look fine to me.
Every single adult in Gatlin was slaughtered by children.
I'm not saying you have to live here. God knows there's not even a whole lot of room left, and you're an adult. I want you to have your own life.
You're supposed to tell him no, Malcolm, because you're the adult and he's a kid. I told you I don't want him involved in this shit.
He can't keep his eyes closed forever.
Catherine told you she didn't have the money.
Well, yes, and I had no idea what she would resort to get it. She's an adult. I told her the truth.
Michael, I know it's been difficult to bond with your son. You know why he's formed an attachment to me? Because I treat him like an adult. You still treat him like a boy.
He's 10 years old.
He's been through more than most people in their entire lifetime.
Suburban.
Suburban.
Suburban. Suburban. Suburban.
I'm the suburban baroness of Bud. Suburban baroness of Bud. Suburban baroness of Bud. Nancy.
I almost feel sorry for the poor fool sitting in his split-level suburban ranch, unaware that a vengeful horde is barreling down the San Diego freeway.
You know better than anyone. Mimi was not going to be some kind of suburban housewife. The suburban housewife. The suburban housewife.
No different than an oil company.
We should be educating ourselves to be citizens of the world and not of some guarded suburban enclave.
I'm Dan the Man Kearney, and today on Ghost Guys, we're investigating paranormal activity at the Johnson residence in suburban Los Angeles.
We're live in Grizzly Lake, where what appears to be a UFO is descending on a suburban community.
I'm not fucking founder, for Christ's sake, suburban mole dweller!
No, you're all on. Incredible as it may seem, BD has been living on this suburban Cleve Mill street since the late 1980s.
Emotion looks the same whether you're a suburban housewife or a suicide bomber.
Offering her services.
Suburban dad with a mysterious secret? How could I resist?
Cash.
Cash.
Cash. Cash.
Cash.
Oh,
Here you go. I got
listen, you've got the headphones
got
on.
cash right here for you. Cash right here for you. Cash right here for you. Here you go.
I'll hook you up just on principle. But me and Lo, we a little strapped for cash at the moment.
Strapped for cash, cash, cash.
Yeah, but I remember him saying something about getting cash from the feds, and how small of a world it is that we all know each other.
Playing games. Open it.
Sir, you have $500,000 cash in your bag. Don't you think it would be better?
They're really gonna love you.
Well, yeah, until they try to cash in their fake stock.
Oh, no.
Smurfs deliver cash to a number of front companies I work with. Cash businesses, all of them. Ones that can account for a fresh influx of liquid capital.
I returned that a few hours ago. It's just some cash I keep lying around the brownstone to pay informants. It's not much, but,
Two. Usual stakes?
My cash against your corpses.
Apparently, Kenneth Carlson's name was all over that report. He requisitioned the cash to pay off Dr. Sutherland. He was the prime mover behind the cover-up.
Someone wants to make another score?
Who better to rob than a suddenly cash flush Oliver Queen?
Because there's $500,000 missing from the vault. There's a tracer in the cash stacks. We're trying to find the signal.
Plastic it is.
Price check on potato chips.
Cash or credit?
Everything's on sale. Let me see if I can help you with anything.
Cash or credit?
Everything's on
Cash or
sale.
We're not shipping out all this firepower and cash for you to finance some never-ending gang war.
Hey, street-level crime opportunity stuff. I mean, we're talking well-coordinated hit and runs. Cash drops, they were there. Guns in storage, they were there.
Fatigue.
Fatigue.
Fatigue. Fatigue.
Fatigue.
So fatigue, which makes them ideal for law enforcement.
There are two approaching armies. Hunger and fatigue. Hunger and fatigue. Hunger and fatigue. But a great wall keeps them at bay.
Do you experience fatigue, nausea? Yes, no.
The whales are fatigued by their efforts to survive, and
standing here for hours, and I'm feeling the fatigue set in.
Don't think about it. Beating fatigue is just, it's mind over body.
No. Thank you. You sure? You look a bit fatigued.
So, look for the one showing signs of weakness or fatigue. He's the prime.
Never hear of olfactory fatigue. Take a couple of deep breaths. You won't notice it soon enough.
No early fatigue when you exert. No need to catch your breath.
None.
I think it's better to drag these things out as long as possible. Let the public fatigue on it.